that we can add you to our list. I have a blog. A blog is a weblog. And during session, I put things on a day-to-day basis, sometimes several times a day, on what I'm doing in Columbia, just to give you an idea of what you sent me down there for. There's also the opportunity, if you click comment, you like what I'm doing, feel free to post it. If you don't like what I'm doing, feel free to post that also. I really need to hear from you, so when I go down there, I'm representing you the way you would like me to be. I know we're kind of rushing things through tonight. The Republican Party has a meeting at 7, and a lot of people are going to need to go to that. But if you need to talk to me about anything specific, I'll be here as long as we need to be. We've got a lot of accomplishments to talk about in the first couple of years. In 2005, we cut small business taxes for the first time in the history of South Carolina. We eliminated the sales tax that you pay on your groceries when you go to the grocery store. We eliminated the lowest income tax bracket on our income taxes. We gave you property tax relief. We didn't go far enough. Last year, you were overcharged $1.5 billion new money. We felt like you deserved a refund. We got you some of your money back, not near as much as we wish we could have. And here's a law that I will swear on as the law of gravity. The faster government grows, the slower the economy grows. The slower government grows, the faster the economy grows. When we can leave money in your pocket, you spend it. You come out to eat at the bagel shop, or you may need your clothes alterated. You may see Miss McCullough on that. And then it gives Pete the opportunity to pay his employees. He may need to hire more people, which in turn puts more in the economy. So I'm a big believer in the market. And let me tell you something. If you could witness how your money is wasted in Columbia, you'll believe it needs to stay with you, because you know how to spend it much better than government does. We just learned from the Department of Commerce that in 2007, we got 15,666 new jobs in South Carolina. That's encouraging. Over $4 billion of investment. Had we cut taxes a little more, those numbers would be better, but we're going to keep working towards that. With your help, we define marriage as the Creator defines marriage. We put it in the Constitution, and some will say, why is it necessary to put what's in the law in the Constitution? Well, you've seen, anytime a liberal activist judge disagrees with the law, he just throws it out. Now, he cannot do that because it's in our state's Constitution. South Carolina voted over 80% in favor of that, so I thank you for that. We passed a law that teachers can use the Bible in their classroom. It's always been legal, but out of fear of some of these liberal groups that like to sue, it's in the law now, and teachers don't have to fear that. We opened up to where charter schools can open up easier. Now, y'all know I've always been, anything we can do to give parents more options in their education, the better. Because I firmly believe that you know how to educate your children far better than us in Columbia. So look forward to seeing more choices in education come. Immigration, we just passed the bill. Wasn't as good as we needed it to be, but there were several amendments to strengthen it, and all those, unfortunately, we failed. But we do have a good bill. Right now it's in conference committee. Hopefully conference will release a good bill that the governor can sign. Transparency that Bob mentioned. Right now we have a freedom of information process that's totally backwards. If you want to find out how your money is being spent, you're the one that has to jump through hoops. You got to go fill out paperwork. You got to go ask, and you get the runaround. You actually have to pay for the copies of documents for the information that belongs to you to begin with. So we've introduced legislation that says every government body, state government, school board, county council, city council, every government body in the state will post on the internet how your money is being spent. There was a law called Jessica's Law. Jessica's Law deals with strengthening the sentencing and punishment of those who prey on our children. During this debate, I had an amendment crafted that would introduce capital punishment for those who prey on our children. I was told I was crazy. I was told it'd never pass. But I felt like I needed to take the floor and introduce that amendment. We had a good debate. We held the floor over an hour. There was a recess called. Many of those on the front row said, listen, Senator, you need to take this amendment down. We can't vote on this amendment. We can't. It's unconstitutional. We can't give the death penalty to those who prey on our children. Well, I disagreed. I said, y'all want to table this amendment? Fine. I'm not sitting down until we vote on it. We voted on it. It passed. Governor Sanford has signed that into law. Now, South Carolina has the toughest child predator laws in the nation. Not something what they say, when we take these firm stands on issues, they say that we're extremists. That's what they say. I'm going to remind you what Barry Goldwater said in 1964. Many of you remember him. I don't. I wasn't born yet. I'm sure Larry can tell you all about it. Barry Goldwater said that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice. In the Declaration of Independence, we are told that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. These rights include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We've seen government attempt to trample on that liberty over and over again. We had a bill that would require parents of young girls, come on in, parents of young girls would be required to give their daughters an HPV vaccine. We all know if you walk into a classroom with measles and mumps and rubella, those are diseases that can be spread very easily. The HPV virus is not that way. By the way, the drug manufacturer of that virus was the one pushing this bill, so follow the money. But we felt like the liberty of the parents to make that decision would be trampled on. We were ready to kill it. Fortunately, our friends in the House killed it before we got a chance to. Y'all may have heard that some liberal judge in California has outlawed homeschooling. The liberty of parents is constantly being trampled on. Y'all remember in New London, Connecticut, the eminent domain case where government took the property of private individuals, condemned it, and then turned it over to the developers. The property rights, the liberty of the property rights are being trampled upon. We must defend liberty to the overcharged taxpayer. You were overcharged $1.5 billion, and I believe you deserve a refund. Do y'all agree? Yeah. We must defend the liberty of parents. Parents know how to educate their children better than those of us in Columbia. Do y'all agree with that? We need to defend the liberty of the honest, tax-paying worker who's making a living, paying taxes, having to pay for the health care and education of those who enter this country illegally. Do y'all agree with that? I'm going to read a poem that was written by a German theologian after the Holocaust. When the Nazis came for the communists, I remained silent. I was not a communist. When they locked up the Social Democrats, I remained silent. I was not a Social Democrat. When they came for the trade unionists, I did not speak out. I was not a trade unionist. When they came for the Jews, I remained silent. I wasn't a Jew. When they came for me, there was no one left to speak out for me. I appreciate y'all coming tonight and joining me in the defense of liberty. We've got a long way to go. The liberal Democrats have a target on us, and I take that as a compliment, because if we're doing something that irritates them, we're doing something right. Thank you for coming. We're going to have some food. I can stay as long as y'all need to talk to me. I really appreciate y'all coming.